We've talked about how budget cuts will affect our full-time military fighting overseas, but what about the reserves? Now often fighting full-time as well. Over 365,000 men and women are part of our National Guard. So why is nobody talking about them? Well, we are this morning. And joining me now is the author of National Guard 101, a handbook for spouses, Mary Corbett. Good morning to you, Mary.
Hi, Gretchen.
Now, sometimes I know that you feel members of the National Guard are forgotten about because you do not live on a base, and so therefore you feel like you don't have that community support. Is that correct?
Right. Living a National Guard life is very unique. Our soldiers and airmen are citizen soldiers, volunteer soldiers, and it's fine when they're home and it's 1 weekend a month, 2 weeks in the summer, but when they go on a long-term deployment, your life changes and you don't have access to that support system that knows what you're going through.
So you wanted to help other people in writing your book and kind of explaining the 101 course on what it feels like. So what has it felt like? Your husband is deployed right now in Afghanistan.
It's been quite an adventure. When we got married in 2000, I didn't know anything about the military or the National Guard, and I really didn't consider myself a military wife. But on 9/11, I knew I was a military wife, and the Guard has been involved for the next 10 years. So it's mixed emotions, but it's exciting. They all want to serve, and staying strong during these deployments is how the spouses serve.
How long has he been gone this time?
He left the day after Christmas, and he'll be back in October, and this is his second deployment. Thank goodness the technology is where it's at. 10 years ago when he was in Cuba, it was completely different. So we're able to keep in touch by Skype and communicate more than we were.
Yeah, but it's got to be harrowing for you every day, especially when we're talking about the increased violence this morning in Afghanistan. I want to get your thoughts on the military cuts, because it seems, at least right now, that seems to be the one thing that is going to be cut in the budget. Your reaction?
We have $500 billion worth of cuts to the military coming down in the next 10 years, and nothing will be untouched. Right now, the different states are looking at the budget, the 2013 budget, and it appears that the Air National Guard is going to take quite a hit.
And so your response to that kind of a cut would be?
I think that the Guard is such a cost-effective organization, a great bang for the buck for the taxpayers, and these are our first responders. These are our state forces that respond during emergencies and perform homeland defense missions. And I think we need to talk about this. I think Americans need to be aware that this is happening.
So if the Guard is helping to support America, what can we do to support you, the families of the National Guard?
Stay on top of the legislation affecting the National Guard. On my website, National Guard 101, you'll have a link to our representative group, NAGAS, and they do a great job of staying on top of all of these issues. If you have a Guard family in your community, even if the soldier or airman is home, reach out to them, because a lot of times there are mini deployments in between the big ones. They may leave for a few weeks on hurricane duty, and they need help, and we don't always ask for it.
All right, Mary Corbett is the author of the new book, National Guard 101, a handbook for spouses. Thanks so much for being our guest.
Thank you.